Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. Today I want to discuss Digimon Liberator, the comic portion, episode 7, Select Few. So what makes this episode so special for the comic portion is that it's the first portion of the story that does not have a card battle. I was actually a little bit surprised about that. And dare I say, and I don't mean this in a negative way, I was actually a bit relieved about that because I'm not going to lie. While I have been enjoying the card battles, I was kind of getting to a point where I was starting to kind of feel like we've seen one card battle. How is the next one going to differ from the other ones? And I know I said this before, but again, the only card properties I've seen and interacted with growing up has been things like Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's really it. I have seen other things with card elements, like or played things with card elements like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. But really, the only thing that I've consumed with an actual tournament style has been Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it's not the same, but I am going to include Mega Man Battle Network just because if everyone watches the anime, there's a lot of tournament scenes and while they don't while they're that's more like real time strategy. They're fighting at the same time. While that's with the traditional Yu-Gi-Oh episode, that's more like the turn-based style, right? So hopefully that analogy makes sense. But I'm just bringing that up again because I did feel like that at points where Yu-Gi-Oh too. But usually, pardon me, everyone, I'm moving something instead of my cat knocked over. But usually with Yu-Gi-Oh, although I would feel like that, it would always catch me off guard in a positive way, as in, oh, I was not expecting for this to happen, for the character to do this instead. This trap card did surprise me. I am happy to say that so far, Liberator is doing the same thing. So far, like with the last one, for example, in the actual card battle between Shoto and not Owen, but Shoto and Yao. I liked how at the end they were able to turn it around without really having to focus a lot on that. Same thing with Susan's story as well, but I'm not really going to focus on Susan's story because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the first part in either Liberator for both the comic and novel where the battle just took place in one segment. It didn't take place over multiple segments. But I mean, I'm going to keep the novel separate from the comic portions because I think it's done. Just because it is delivered in a different medium, I think it's a little bit easier to do the card battles and then in the novel format because we're able to get the insight from the characters. So there's that little detail as well. So I did find it interesting that there was no card battle. I am come as a reader, and I'm wondering if I could totally be wrong about this. I was wrong about Seekers, about Professor Ruzhenji. I was really hoping he wouldn't be the villain, but Copium couldn't get you so far. But when it comes to Liberator, it's really starting to feel like the story is starting to getting ready to start moving forward. And I kind of talked a bit about this at the beginning of the videos where I was saying there's really not much narration. Most of the narration or when I say narration, I mean like there's no main plot going forward. Most of the storytelling that's taking place is mostly through characterization, getting to get familiar with our protagonists, Shoto and Ariza, and the people that they're going to be working with. There's a lot of minor characters that I would say are a lot more fleshed out compared to Digimon Seekers. Well, I did like characters like Professor Ruzhenji, um, oh goodness, I'm starting to forget their names. Tartarus, I forgot his. I know his name's like Kowiski. I believe his name starts with the K. And then the Digi Police, Yulin, I believe her name was. They didn't really feel as fleshed out. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. Not to the same degree that Owen not to the same degree because he was barely introduced, but Cool Boy, especially Cool Boy. I would say that besides the main characters, he's been the most present within the story. And even like very minor characters, we don't even know their name yet. Like that one woman that Shoto came across at the beginning of the story when they went crossing their paths. And even he states that, oh, that's that woman that I saw earlier. No wonder she was present and that rogue NPC was around. I am curious about that if that's true because I haven't reread that panel, but it kind of looked like she was chasing something else. And she was after that rogue NPC. Why wouldn't she have stopped to assist Shoto and Ariza and they needed to defend themselves? So yeah, it's starting to feel like the story is starting to get ready to begin moving forward with the overall plot. And I say that just because we're starting to get interactions from the characters from the novel side. I thought that was really cool. So this episode 7 begins with a meeting between the debugging team. So the little area that they're in, there are lacuna as always. But give me a quick second. I should have written this down. Pardon me, everyone, but I do thank you for your patience. They're inside a special room right now. It's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. Sorry about that, everyone. But I kind of feel like I'm already in. So, um, Avalon. I was about to give up. Thankfully, I didn't. So I thank you for your patience. So right now they're in Avalon, the private area for the debugging team, and it was really cool to to see that the panels included Yuki and also included Ryu. It also included Rinwar. The only things that were Rinwar and his Digimon. Unfortunately, we didn't see Impmon or Tyrannomon. Um, but we even got to see a little bit of essentially the we got to see everyone again except for Susan, which I guess makes sense. She might be still doing a mission of some kind. I won't lie, I didn't have any expectations, but I was kind of hoping once I saw the whole team was there, I was kind of hoping for some interaction between Shoto and the novel team. Bandai might be deciding to keep that separate, but I am personally hoping for some overlap. If anyone ever grew up with like the Batman animated series or the Justice League animated series, then you probably know what I'm referring to. So I'm hoping something like that will occur. But if it doesn't, I'm just happy with these cool little references. It makes the story feel much more immersive and much more connected. Um, and it was really cool because when the cool guy explained that both of these new members have defeated a member of the debug team, I loved Arisa's reaction. She's like, wait, I haven't battled anyone. And unfortunately, I forgot that one Digimon's name, but the one who looks like a toy, a Monachimon, I believe, something like that. I can't pronounce his name. But I liked how with Epsimon confirms that indeed Arisa did fight someone from the debug team. And I'm not going to lie, when I read that, I was like, whoa, I can't remember. What are they talking about? She didn't find anyone from a debug team. Did she even have any battle? And I was remembering Vi, but for some reason it just didn't click. It didn't click until before her panel appeared. I was still thinking about it when Epsilon confirmed, yes, we did fight someone before. So let me start over. When the Amnachimon or whatever, the one that looks like a toy, Digimon, when he stated that she already fought someone, I was really confused, trying to remember who. I was remembering Violet, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking. And when Epsilon confirmed indeed that, yes, Arisa, you did fight a member of the debug team in the past, that's when it finally did click. It's like, oh, Violet, I bet you it was Vi. Well, I called her Violet. And then when, sure enough, a couple panels later, she was, 13, 15 minutes late. I actually really liked that. And it was a bit cheesy, a little bit. Not cheesy is not the correct word, but convenient. There we go, convenient. How convenient that everyone's present, but the one person that's meant to shock the readers, we didn't know she was part of the debugging team. She's the one that ends up appearing at the last minute, right? So it was a bit convenient in that regard. But with that being said, honestly, I really did enjoy that convenience, and I think the writers did a good job of making it just a really fun, comical moment within the story. I'm also appreciating the time jumps that the story is doing as well. We start off with it's stated that it's been about a couple weeks since Shoto and Arisa have joined the team, and now they're officially part of the team. And then after that, there's a small other time jump with the team actually doing a mission. Arisa, Violet, Shoto. Excuse me, everyone. My cat, she's being a little menace. She's knocking over everything that I have right here. So if you're hearing any noises, pardon me. Since this is the Digimon video, I'll be transparent. She's knocking over the V pet. So I have two with me right now. The Virus Busters and Nightmare Soldiers. In case one is curious, right now I'm working on Pico Devimon. I'm trying to get Devimon in his evolved form. And this is new. It's not completely new. I'm barely working with it. Or playing with it, excuse me. I currently have Greymon. That was by accident. I was going for Gabumon, but I just wanted to get the extra Digimon from each device. That's my cat again. She's knocking things over. This time she knocked over my chapstick. He's just being a little menace in this episode. So, excuse me, everyone. Thank you for your patience, though. I just wanted to quickly mention this since this is a Digimon video. I kind of figured, well, if anyone's going to appreciate this noise, if I could bring this noise into the video, it'll be Digimon fans. Anyways, but anywho, thank you for your patience again. And then Shoto and Owen. So they're going after a rogue NPC. So this is what I mean, where I feel like the story is starting to be cranked up. Apparently, there's been some, I'm going to call them incursions. They're not really incursions, but I feel like being dramatic. There's been multiple incursions with one specific Digimon. And oh man, I'm not going to go looking for this Digimon's name because I just don't have enough time. So I'm just going to try, I'm going to mispronounce it. Obviously, that's kind of a running gag, I suppose, with me. But the name is Manikmon or Mannequinmon, maybe. I'm not gonna lie, although I said I'm not gonna look for the name. I am looking for the name right now. So, and apparently I was going backwards. I forgot this is a Japanese manga novel, so I was going this way instead of that way. So, pardon me, everyone. Let me see. Let me see if I could quickly find his name. Sorry, everyone, again, I do thank you for your patience. You know what? I'm just not gonna do. I'm just gonna quickly give up right now because at least with the other, with Avalon, I kind of knew an approximation where that Digimon was located. But for this, I'll be frank. I'm just gonna be going through the pages, and unfortunately, sometimes the pages need to load. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. So because of that, yeah. Um, that was my cat again with that noise. And again, one could probably tell a little bit more about my personal personality, that I am a bit stubborn, because even though I said, again, a second explanation about why I would, here we go, at least I said I will give up on it, but I found the Makinamon, there we go, I'm just going to call him Makinamon. So apparently Makinamon has been doing multiple appearances, and this is the Digimon that the team is going after right now. And literally after they catch this one Manikimon, but when the story ends, another one appears. Actually, there's seeming to be a rogue NPC, and while it's at the same time that rogue NPC is present, another Manikimon is appearing as well. So I'm quite curious, and also the fact that this Digimon seems to be a new Digimon. In terms of the story, I'm not sure this Digimon's new completely the way that Teromon and Shumon are, but his design is a lot more intricate. Not a popular Digimon, a common Digimon we've encountered before. So this kind of gives me a sneaky feeling that, again, this Manikimon is going to play, if not an important role in the story, then it's going to be leading us to a important part of the story. So I'm looking forward to why this Manikimon keeps reappearing. And yeah, so even though there was no battle within this chapter, I don't feel like it was a boring episode. I very did feel like it's an intermediary episode, though. Like as I said already, I've said multiple times, it does feel like maybe we're starting to, the Bandai writers are starting to get the audience ready to start moving the overall narration, the overall plot forward. And I think that would make sense because it seems like we've met all of our characters. The only character that I know for a fact we haven't met yet will be Owen Dreadnought's counterpart, the one that Arise is a fan of, Zenith. There we go. Thankfully, I have the character names open on this side. Zenith. We've been introduced to Zenith. Oh, and the Digimon who looks like a toy, his name is Omikamon. Oh, and Makinamon was right here too. I'm sorry, everyone, for having wasted your time going to look for these names. Pardon me about that. Nice to know that Bandai Namco is really updating this character page so quickly, so that's very cool. We also got to see a bit of a tangent, but since I'm on this character page, I thought it was really cool how we were able to see Elizamon's evolution into Demetriamon or something like that. I definitely can't pronounce it. So definitely Elizamon reminds me of like an Axato. Those little amphibians, I believe they live in Latin America. More specifically, I believe in Mexico. I'm not sure if they're only located in Mexico or throughout Latin America, but Axatos are essentially just amphibian creatures who, to my understanding, they're like in a perpetual state of being a tadpole, which is pretty cool. But anyways, it's not a biological video, but seeing Elizamon's evolution really did make that Axato connection cement for me. And the last thing I do want to discuss is I liked how the Digimon were able to evolve beyond the card game. The Liberator does give context, a little bit of lore, world building, explaining that these debuggers have a special emblem that allows them to engage or basically interrupt battles that are already going on. And besides that, also allow their Digimon, their partner Digimon, to evolve. The use of that word partner Digimon, that was curious to me when Owen got on top of Elizamon's, Demetrimon's evolution. Maybe when there's a cat fur in my mouth. I was expecting to see Shoto riding Teromon, but it was interesting to see that instead he worked with Mochimon again, and Mochimon Digivolve transformed. Excuse me, what is this? Transformers Beast Wars? It's the animated series, by the way, not the movie. I haven't seen the new movie. Anyways, but Mochimon Digivolves into Kokokarimon, excuse me. I'll still be with my words right there. Kokokarimon. I may not be pronouncing that correctly. Forgive me about that. Again, I'm not the best with names when it comes to Digimon. There are a lot of names. Same thing with Pokemon, but thankfully with Pokemon, once they evolved, then they were like with that form, so one could get used to the name. But anyways, despite that though, I'm still a bigger Digimon fan because one can't get over those character arcs. I love those character arcs. I love Gabumon and Yamato's relationship. Anyways, but yeah, so for Shoto to be writing Kokotorimon, that did confuse me a little bit because I was like thinking to myself, oh, does this mean that Shoto's partner Digimon is not Teromon? I know I'm probably being very facetious, or rather very specific, because when I hear the word partner Digimon, I'm just so used to these humans working with one Digimon. Of course, everybody said Yamato with Gabumon, um, um, Biyomon with Sora, and etc. Right? So they usually just have one Digimon. The only partner I could think of that has multiple digital partners would be Wireless or Will, who had Terriermon and the other form of Terriermon. I always forget his name, unfortunately. But yeah, but that to me made sense because they were twin Digimon. So maybe I'm just overthinking this, and when they say partner Digimon, they mean any partner that one is partnered with, including Terramon and other Digimon that one works with. Because Ariza, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe she was working with Shumon. And wasn't there another Digimon she was using at first at the beginning of the story before she met Shumon? But yeah, so I was expecting to see Terramon. But I wonder if the Bandai writers are thinking that as well. They were thinking to themselves, the readers will be expecting Terramon, not Kokotorimon. I love how they did include a little panel where, actually, I think that's a panel I want to read, the quote that I want to read with everyone. Actually, no, it's not part of me. Where Terramon says, if I've told you once, I've told you multiple times, you cannot ride me. You're too heavy. And I find that a little bit shocking. Like, Terramon, Shoto's too heavy for you when you evolve. But I do feel like that's a bit of a cop-out, but I do appreciate the fact that that was even included in the story to begin with. So the last two things I do want to discuss are just, of course, the quote that I have. Before that, I do appreciate Shoto. As always, his awesome characterization that really makes the characters worth following, even if there isn't an overall plot going forward, is the way that Shoto remembers how Ariza was helping him. Again, reminding the reader that his battling skills, it's refined through his own skills, but also refined through the assistance that Ariza gave Shoto within Laconia. As a quick reminder, it's implied that he was doing fine within the real world, but when he came to Laconia, his card battling skills didn't transfer over, unfortunately. So Ariza has been helping him. And when we recall, there's also a point in the story where Shoto says, we'll go shopping as a way to say thank you. And he thinks to himself, she sacrificed so much for myself. Or he also says that he feels kind of bad about that. And Ariza's like, did you say something? So, maybe that was a hiccup. I personally really like that because it reminds the readers that Shoto is one who's not impulsive, is not one who's selfish, is not one who's a user. It seems very much he is a selfless, maybe not selfish, but a genuine individual who wants to genuinely work with the community in a positive manner. So I thought that was very cool. I like that little moment. So let me go ahead and look at the quote. This quote actually will allow me to talk a little bit more about Owen. Give me a second, everyone. Oh, where's my quote that I wanted to save? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, what the heck, everyone? I must have accidentally gotten rid of my quote by accident. Ugh. Pardon me, everyone, for your patience. I do want to read that passage. That's why. I know I could just paraphrase it, but I kind of maintain a tradition of reading one specific quote from the comic portion. I know it sounds silly, but I just want to maintain that. I did find the quote. Let me just go to the beginning of where I want to start reading from. Okay, here we go. So this is where Kokotorimon is now. Shoto is now riding Kokotorimon, and Owen has been chasing Manikimon. And all of a sudden, they're too fast, they being Owen and Manikimon, and Kokotorimon and Shoto trying to catch up, and all of a sudden, Owen shouts, "Newbie!" And from a distance, we see Dimitrimon with Owen on top. Dimitrimon, it's seen you. It's at your 2 o'clock. I have visual confirmation, Shoto responds. The target is right in front of me. This one is faster. Oh, wait, excuse me, no, that's Owen speaking. Pardon me about... Oh, never mind that. So let me start over. It's sinew. It's at your 2 o'clock, Owen states. Shoto responds, I have visual confirmation. Then Owen responds back or replies, the target is right in front of me. This one is faster. I won't be able to reach it. It's going to pass right in front of you in 30 seconds. I'll give you a countdown. And it literally does start count. You'll capture it. And then Shoto goes, ugh, and he looks a little bit flustered. And then Owen looks extremely flustered, or more like irritated. His mouth is completely open and he's shouting, newbie! Alright, I get it already, Shoto responds. You don't have to keep telling me. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blank card, standby. And then they go ahead and succeed. So the reason why I really like this little passage, and the panels themselves are not really describing it the way I usually do, is because the panels, most of it is just showing a lot of progression of speed since they're chasing someone, a Digimon. It's because I just like the fact that even though Owen obviously is not happy about working with Shoto, he's ignoring Shoto. Even at the beginning of the story, Shoto is looking around for Owen. He's like, oh, he's not even present. He's trying to avoid me. We see that Owen's still willing to work with the team when it ends up accomplishing their main objective. He could have been a typical rival and just completely ignored Shoto and tried to capture Manekimon by himself. The fact that he's actually willing to work with Shoto, I think that says a lot about Owen's character. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but maybe that's meant to show us, the readers. I know Owen might be acting kind of villainy, but don't worry, everyone. He's not going to be a villain. If anything, would just be maybe a little bit of an anti-hero. Maybe not even to that extent. Just someone who's going, just a rival, essentially, but more positive kind of rival. Maybe someone like Violet, right? Violet keeps saying that Shoto and Ariza, specifically Ariza, are her rivals, but now she's saying rivals plural. I think she was originally saying that only Ariza was a rival. But she's obviously very friendly with these individuals, right? So I do like this detail. I'm looking forward to what's going to occur about this. And then I'm kind of happy I had to go through everything because it reminded me about Shoto's reaction. I also really enjoyed how after Ariza and Vi congratulate Shoto on capturing the wild Digimon, Shoto doesn't just take all the praise. He explains that, well, it was also thanks to Kokotorimon, but also Owen as well. But of course, Owen's already walking away, right? So, but what's cool is that at that when he was walking away as in, okay, we're done with this battle. I'm gonna go ahead and go do my own thing. But I really did appreciate and enjoy how at the end of the story, so I'll maintain this tradition reading the last couple of panels. I love how Violet does take charge. So, oh no, at this timing, let's split up. So let me just read it at the beginning so I don't have to provide context. So it's really cool how Violet seems like she wants to hang out. If you don't have any plans, we could. But then unfortunately something happens. Beep, beep, beep. The D-Dot goes from Shoto specifically. Huh? Ariza, Violet. The D-Dot states caution has coordinates. An out-of-control NPC has been sighted in the area. Beep, beep. Oh, Vi, I got something else from a different location. States Ariza. She's looking at her own D-Doc. And Violet looks irritated. She has I'm trying to do it, excuse me, like puffed out cheeks, but also like a little frown as well. Very adorable panel. Ariza states, it says that it's Manekimon. And then Violet's clapping her forehead. Now? Oh no, at this timing, let's split up. Shoto, Owen. And the panel shows Owen. Of course, he's looking all cool, looking away. While Shoto looks all determined. That typical newbie kind of determination, right? He even has his fist up. I was talking like this because that's just my own. I was just including that, but he literally has his fist up. I noticed that I kept scrolling down. Excuse me. You two handle the out-of-control NPC. Ariza, follow me. That's Vi talking to Ariza. And she states, Roger, she being Ariza. She really knows how to take charge, Shoto says. And the panel shows Violet and Ariza running towards the Manekimon. Okay. And Shoto looking. Okay, Owen. Or rather, okay, Owen. It looks like we should. And then when Shoto looks at Owen, the panel says, I thought it said boom, but the first letter seems to be, it kind of looks like the number 4, to be honestly. I'm not sure what that first letter is going to be, so pardon me, everyone. Avum, maybe it's Avum, A-V-O-O-O-M. Anyways, but Dreadnought is on, Owen's on top of Dimitriamon, and they're of course already going towards his rogue NPC. Wait for me, Shoto shouts. Get on, Shoto. It's Kokotorimon right behind him, and it says whoosh, and Shoto looks determined with his hands like this, and let's go, Kokotorimon. And then he hops on top of him. Our target, the out-of-control NPC, and the face of Shoto looking very determined, resolute. Hurry! And that's how the chapter ends. One thing I have to say, since I mentioned the V-Pets, the V-Pets really made me start appreciating other Digimon I don't typically gravitate towards, because if you want specific Digimon, you kind of have to go through Digimon you don't typically want to engage with, right? Like, I'm not going to lie, Pico Devimon, he's a villain, but now I actually think he's quite adorable. I don't mind having him and raising him and everything like that. What I love about this comic so far is, I'm not gonna lie, same idea for me. When I first saw Kokotorimon, I was like, oh, Kokotorimon, I of course know him as a villain from Adventure 1, the boat episode. But now as I continue reading, I'm not gonna lie, I really appreciate Kokotorimon. I love this characterization. Same thing with Frigimon as well, but that one's kind of different because, well, I guess Kokotorimon too, they both have black gears. They weren't being offensive on purpose. But I won't lie, Frigimon from Adventure 1, I will argue, was seemingly much more he seemingly seems much more friendlier compared to Kokotorimon. But yeah, so I really do appreciate that, and it's making me enjoy Digimon overall even more. Digimon, the character designs and everything like that. So yeah, so I did enjoy this chapter. For me, it does feel like it's an intermediary. We're going to start moving the plot forward, discovering why there's more Manekimon coming around, and the fact that the team split in two. I'm hoping some fun things would come out of that. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. My question for everyone is, what do you think about this chapter? Were you disappointed? I went back to the video, and for some reason the video like started skipping, and I was like confused about that. So were you disappointed by the chapter because there was a lack of battle, or are you like me and were kind of appreciated kind of a small break? Or do you have a different opinion? So again, to reiterate, what's your opinion about the lack of battle? Pardon me, everyone. I don't know why my hair looks so funny like that. So I was away from the video looking at the comic panel. So excuse me about that. Hopefully, that didn't look too funny. As always, I really do appreciate you guys listening / watching. I am falling behind with comments. There's usually one user who leaves comments. Pardon me for not responding back to you. It's not on purpose, just because unfortunately it's been quite busy for me professionally. So, but I will reply when I can. So. Again, thank you to that individual and to everyone else for the engagement as well. Hope you all have a prodigious day, and you take care.